Aloha, everybody. Welcome. I am Etchy from Dead Drug Gaming, bringing you an interview with two amazing players from the team. We got Jake Gearhart and Andrew Hedrick. Jake, why don't you introduce yourself really quickly?
Yeah, I'm Jake Gearhart, famously known on Twitter. I've been playing for 10 years. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Andrew Hedrick, and I'm excited to be competing at the World Championships in Hawaii this week.
Oh yeah, those are happening. Huh? That's in 2 days now.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are you ready?
I definitely feel like I need to get a little bit more testing in, walk in my deck, but I'm not too nervous.
Do you know what you're playing at?
Not entirely,
Do
no.
you, do you know, Jake?
No, not at all. Yeah, definitely not yet. I have to decide what I'm going to lose to. That's kind of one of those formats where
Yeah.
you got to pick which decks you're fine conceding to, and then if you make the right call, then you do well. Or
Yeah.
or play Reggie Drago and just go 50-50 and hope to dodge all the people super teching against you.
Yeah, I think that's kind of one of the things I wanted to ask you was compared to the podcast we recorded 5 days ago. We had you on that for that. We didn't have Andrew on for that, but has your analysis of the meta kind of changed at all since we recorded that?
I think it's stayed pretty much the same. Yeah, there's all these the format's really centered around Ready Drago. There's a handful of decks that are like pretty good into it, but Ready Drago doesn't take worse than like a 40-60 against really anything. So yeah, it's definitely the deck to beat. And then there's a handful of decks which are like if you want to make a risky meta call, you can find something like Block Lax or Iron Thorns or even Gardevoir in some
Mm-hmm.
cases where it's just going to take like pretty bad matchup into a couple decks, but really solidly favor against the rest of the field. Yeah.
Gotcha. What about you, Andrew? What is your thoughts on the meta?
Yeah, so to me, it feels like all of the decks are pretty bad besides Reggie Drago. And then Reggie Drago is the one deck that everyone wants to beat
Yeah.
because of that. So that makes it pretty weird. I don't know. It's not my favorite meta, I don't think, but
Yeah.
I think I'll find a deck that's pretty good. So we'll have to see.
What is in a meta like this, especially? How do you even make the decision on what deck to play for a tournament like this important, right? Like what factors are most important for you for making this decision?
Yeah, so I mean, similar to any other tournament, it has to be a deck that you're confident in playing. You know how to play your matchups. I think like taking a risk and like choosing one matchup to lose to at Worlds. That's like a fine decision. You don't have to take some risks to win Worlds. So I definitely would be okay like making a little bit more of a risky choice, but we'll have to see. Still want to be able to beat most decks. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. I've sort of gone into this world, especially as soon as I knew like the format was going to be so centered around Ready Drago that like I was either going to be playing Ready Drago or playing like choosing where I want to play risky. Yeah, right now I'm leaning towards a little bit on the risky side. I don't think I want to play Ready Drago and just play mirrors all day, but yeah, we'll see how I end up at the on Friday morning. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be doing coverage on the day of the tournament, and I guess both days or all 3 days technically, if depending on how things shake out for our team members. I'll be doing mid-round interviews, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those. But I wanted to ask too, just do you still think Reggie Drago will be the most popular deck at the tournament?
I think it probably will be. It's possible that like there's a lot of Zard seemingly for some reason, in online tournaments and
Well, like
tournaments in Japan and things. I
okay,
don't think the deck is that great right now. It's Reggie Drago matchup's really tough. It does fare pretty well against a lot of like the counter Drago decks like Lugia, Miraidon, Raging Bolt. Um, but yes, I think it's either going to be Ready Drago or Zard as the most popular deck, and
really
then
okay.
Lugia will probably be number three as my guess. Yeah, what do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, yeah. What do you think are like general meta percentages that you're thinking?
I think it's possible that Lugia is number one.
Really?
We saw it happen last year. It's been doing pretty well in some online tournaments as well. And it does have generally a pretty good matchup against Reggie Drago. If they tech for it, it's a lot closer,
Yeah.
but it's still not like a bad matchup by any means. So I think it's possible that that deck could be number one. Otherwise, it will be Reggie Drago.
Okay.
Pretty strong deck. I don't think any deck will be super, super popular, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think there was like one point where Reggie Drago felt like it would just be insanely played, but I feel like it's come down a little bit from that with people like playing more counter decks.
Yeah, like what Jake was saying, right? Where just a lot of people are going to be tagging pretty hard for it, and everyone's just much more ready for it than if the tournament happened like 2 weeks ago or whatever. So, makes a lot of sense. Okay, so the last question I want to ask is: now that you're both here in Hawaii, experiencing everything that the island has to offer, and now the tournament's in 2 days, things are starting to set in. What makes this tournament different than previous worlds that you've competed in?
Yeah, so I would say that I've only played in one other Worlds and Masters. I
Mhm.
played last year in Yokohama. It was obviously really fun, but I feel like I've definitely learned a little bit from that. Didn't have a super great run in day 2 in that tournament. So I'm going to be trying to take like what I've learned, how to approach it. I think I'd rather approach it more just like a normal tournament than kind of I did last year, thinking it's like completely different and you have to high roll so much or whatever. I mean, it's kind of just like a normal tournament with like your opponents are better.
Yeah.
So I would say just try to keep it more like that, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think I agree as well, especially because this year there's a lot more people at this World Championships. There's a ton of people qualified. And we've also got like a new region in China that's competing the first time, mainland China. So yeah, I think it'll be more like a regional style tournament this year. We'll see how it ends up like next year. I think it might be closer to what we envisioned as like a definitely a play risky tournament. But at this one, yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of players like varying skill levels. The average will be higher for sure. But yeah, you can definitely outskill players at this World Championships. I think I was pretty happy with my preparation last year. So I'm just trying to keep up with that this year.
Do you think you prepared more or like the same level or what?
I think I've prepared more this year. Yeah, last year I ended up playing Gardevoir, and I came to a list very similar to Tord Reklev's with the second reversal energy, the Mirage step, like a lot of those crucial deck decisions. So yeah, I'm hoping sort of to get there on the deck choice this year, but I definitely want to get and have gotten a lot more practice in on my matchups rather than just focusing on the list, which I think I got the list last year, but not the matchup prep as well. I think I low rolled in terms of my matchup last year, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. But yeah, being more prepared can never hurt at a tournament like this.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, like I said, we're going to be talking to you both again, probably on Friday, potentially on Saturday, and we'll see how y'all are doing at that point. Thank you so much for watching this interview, and we'll have more for you coming. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time.